Hey everybody, I'm Chris. Thanks for watching our channel. It is getting to be that time of year. We are talking fantasy football drafts. They are upon us. A lot of you probably maybe have them this weekend or soon thereafter. I hope you can have some fun and relax, and maybe we can give you some players to target, and maybe that will make you more relaxed. Every year on the channel, you may or may not know, I do a flag player list. That's 10 players of all the players out there that I'm planting a flag on that I think maybe you can consider drafting for your team. Let's take a look at the requirements. Just briefly, when we talk about flag players, well, this is what we're talking about. These aren't going to be the 10 best players on the board, and I'm not telling you that you have to draft them. I'm saying that I like the players, probably to varying degrees, and I think that they're getting drafted at prices that I think represents pretty good value. And I should also say, I'm trying to pick flag players from all over the draft board. It would be pretty easy for me to just list a bunch of first and second rounders, but I try not to do that. There'll be some highly drafted guys, there'll be some mid-round guys, there'll be some late round flyers, and hopefully have some fun. So we got 10 of them, and today we're going to count down numbers 10 through 6. Let's look at number 10. I have Rhamondre Stevenson, I guess you'd say the second Patriot running back. I guess I'd say that I'm not sure he's eclipsing Damien Harris in the New England backfield. I don't think he's going to do that, at least not to start the year. But I'm going to put him on the list because I feel like at this point I value these Patriot running backs basically the same. And in most ADPs, they're not valued the same. On average, I see Damien Harris going the 6th round and Stevenson going the 8th or the 9th. If I were starting purely from scratch and picking the better running back, I don't think Damien Harris is bad, but I like Stevenson more. They're both big backs, but Stevenson's bigger. Neither of them has elite quickness, but I like Stevenson's feet more. Neither is any kind of elite route runner or downfield receiver, but I trust Stevenson a little bit more as an outlet receiver in the flat. To my eye, Stevenson just has a bit more juice. Now, Damien Harris scored 15 touchdowns last year. As I say, I don't think he's going anywhere. But I'm willing to snag a piece of this backfield in the true middle rounds. We're talking 8th, 9th round. And then, on my bench, we'll stay tuned for how the Patriots figure out their third down situation. If Rhamondre Stevenson really becomes the receiving back, well, we've got ourselves a steal. Hey, a quick break. Without DraftKings, this show wouldn't exist. It does make sense to support sponsors who support things that you like. If you've thought about finding a place to play the games, I recommend DraftKings. College football is starting this weekend. If you're going to be watching anyway, sometimes it's fun to put a couple bucks down and give yourself a rooting interest. And DraftKings is giving new customers $200 in free bets when you make your first bet of $5. Win or lose, make a $5 bet. You'll get $200 in free bets to play around with when you get the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using our code, which is HarrisTube. DraftKings has a whole bunch of ways you can make watching sports more fun, same game parlays, lines on just about everything, and you can get $200 in free bets when you make a bet of $5, but you have to get the DraftKings Sportsbook app and you have to sign up using our code HarrisTube. Okay, let's get back to the flag player list. Number 9. Okay, well, I don't love putting quarterbacks on this list because in most leagues, in most single quarterback leagues, I'm just going to tell you to wait. I want you to wait on quarterback. You'll get a good player in the middle rounds. And in this case, I think you're going to get a better than good player in the middle rounds, so I am going to put a quarterback on this list. Tom Brady, because you can get him as the 9th or 10th quarterback in your draft, but I have him rated top 5. This is, of course, as always in fantasy, a story about mobility. There are people out there who simply get blinded by the upside of the running quarterbacks. And obviously, Tom Brady is not a running quarterback. But let me show you a little something. Here are the best fantasy quarterbacks from last year. Josh Allen, okay, absolutely. He won the race, and his rushing yardage, and especially his rushing touchdowns, played a major role in him being the number 1 quarterback. But after that, I hate to tell you, the beloved rushing QBs were not the key to much of anything last year. Jalen Hurts got 44% of his fantasy points from rushing, Kyler Murray 24%, Lamar Jackson 36%, and none finished among the elites at the position. And they were much worse injury bets, as you would expect. I'm not telling you not to draft rushing quarterbacks, but I am telling you that reaching for a rushing quarterback in the early rounds is actually a poor bet. Tom Brady is going 8th round, 9th round, 10th round. Awesome. While everyone's spending a 5th-round pick on Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts, I will wait. I will take players at more scarce positions and still get a top 5 fantasy quarterback. Also, I will say, even though I'm putting Brady on the list, if you miss out on Brady, I feel kind of the same way about waiting on Russell Wilson. Okay, this next one, I'm not going to win a lot of friends because I'm going to actually be the first person in 2022 to say nice words about Kenny Golladay who's not related to him. I understand what happened last year. Golladay was a consensus, 5th round pick after signing his big free agent deal with the Giants, and he completely crashed. And this training camp, beat reporters have had nothing good to say about him. So this is not a call that I think Kenny Golladay is about to return to his Detroit Lions glory of 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. But it is a call that you usually don't get players who are 29 years old and who have double-digit touchdown seasons in their recent past and who have wowed us with the size and the jumping ability and the hands just a couple of years ago. You usually don't get those guys for free in fantasy drafts. I'm putting Golladay on the flag list in order to endorse him as a late round pick. Take him in the 13th round, the 14th round. He is basically free. And let's just hold on and have a look after a couple of weeks. Like most players we draft that late, we're probably going to feel like we missed with the dart, and we can release Golladay for a waiver ad. But on the off chance that the guy who was the number 25 overall fantasy draft choice 2 years ago reemerges, I don't hate that gamble. He's getting drafted near Mecole Hardman and torn ACL Michael Gallup. At that price, I'm willing to take one last shot. At number 7, let's take a big old bite of risk, shall we? And we'll try J.K. Dobbins on for size. There's no question, since I put Dobbins on the flag list on my podcast, his ADP has been arrowed upward. He's now a 5th round pick in most formats. That's not that far away from where I have him currently ranked. Dobbins is coming off a torn ACL. He's not guaranteed to play in week 1, let alone get a big workload. But as of last week, he's back in drills. He's still in non-contact territory, but the hope is that, it's been a full year since his knee went kablooey. Hopefully, he'll be ready. You see how crazy the market's going for DeAndre Swift. I think Dobbins is the same kind of player, except in their rookie years, respectively, I thought Dobbins looked more direct and more powerful. Now, make no mistake, even though, as I said in our Players to Avoid video that we're linking to right here, I think Swift's ADP in standard leagues is too high, but I still think Swift should be ranked way ahead of Dobbins because he's the dude whose knee didn't require reconstructive surgery. However, I think the distance between them in ADP this year is a little much. Dobbins' best case is as good, if not better, than Swift's. I get it. The Ravens don't seem inclined to make Dobbins a workhorse. I can say the same thing about the Lions and Swift. And I also get it. Lamar Jackson steals rushing touchdowns. Okay, nevertheless, right now, in the 4th round, I'm pretty happy getting J.K. Dobbins. And if I'm drafting Labor Day weekend and I get any kind of word that Dobbins has kind of shed the non-contact jersey and is getting tackled, he's ready to go, I think he's headed into my 3rd round. And it's Ravens everywhere on this flag list because at number 6, I have 2nd-year wideout Rashod Bateman. I absolutely love getting Bateman in round 6 or round 7, where I don't have to rely on him to be a fantasy starter right away, but I can have him ready if he does make the 2nd-year leap. Bateman probably comes at a discount because he missed most of his last training camp and the first chunk of last season, like 2 months practically of last year's regular season because of groin surgery, and he just didn't get to show what he can be as an overall outside and inside receiver. The Ravens mostly used him kind of in a possession role against zone a lot of the time. They didn't really have him isolated on defenders. Basically, they gave Bateman the simple stuff while Marquise Brown got more targets and more defensive attention. Putting Bateman on the flag list is about my belief in Bateman as a prospect. I think he can do more than he showed in 2021, and there's a straight line to draw there. He was hurt. He fell behind. I admit I have not seen him consistently win against pressure yet, but I feel like you see some ferocity in these highlights we're showing you. You can see strong hands and like strength after the catch and a tough runner in the open field. If you squint, maybe you see some Michael Thomas in him, maybe not quite as big, but still a pretty big guy. I don't want to make too much of Baltimore's receiving core and its lack of depth, because when your only argument for a player is, who else is there? But the player himself can't really play, well, then you get Marquez Callaway, But I'm betting Bateman can play. Like flashes of really good hands, of one-handed grabs, reliability in the middle of the field against zone. I'm not positive the Ravens are going to make Bateman a huge breakout star, but I think safe floor, and I also do think, if things break right, pretty high ceiling. So there you have it, the first half of our 2022 flag list, numbers 10 through 6. On next week's video, we will put together 5 through 1 and show you reasons why we like those guys at their prices as well. In the meantime, of course, we want to hear your comments. We want to know what you think of these picks, and also tell us your value picks. Who can't you believe you're getting at the price that you're getting them? We'd love to hear it down in the comments. We thank DraftKings very much again for sponsoring, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button, and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.